I could care less if your impact drill drills a screw, drives a screw a 16th of a second faster than my drill. I could care less if your saw happens to cut a 16th of a second faster than my saw. I could care less about 90% of the things that you see out there when people are doing tool reviews. You know why? Because if anyone's ever been an actual contractor on the job site, we're not comparing what drill got it done a 16th faster. It's completely irrelevant. What we want to know is, if I drop this drill 13 times, will it still turn on? If this battery gets a little damp, is it still going to work? If I leave this in 100-degree weather, is it going to leak juices out? We'll get to that. That's what contractors want to know. I'm a real contractor. I am on job sites pretty much every single day. I build houses. I do everything from ground up, and I have been doing it with these tools for the most part, excluding the tools that they don't have to offer, like table saws, chop saws, stuff like that. But they have been expanding their arsenal. I've been utilizing them, and this video is going to be basically my take on Flex. Now, I know most of you might be here because you want to know about the Flex battery juices, so let's dive into that. I kind of divided my batteries into stacked lithium and then your traditional batteries on this side, which unfortunately I have a lot of. Now, again, Flex does send me these tools, but they don't tell me what I have to or can't say. These batteries are disgusting. Okay, one I was using yesterday started leaking on me, and you guys can see that that's just all juicied up. Most of these, even the LED gets juiced up to where you can even barely see if it's charged or not. The batteries still work, but they're gross, and they'll gunk up your tools, which is kind of annoying. A buddy of mine at Lowe's actually told me, if you hang your charger upside down to where your battery's charged like this, it won't get your charger all dirty. But regardless, that's a pain. That's a problem. That's a flaw. The positive thing about the Flex platform is that these this problem is only happening with their old lithium batteries. The original wave of batteries is the ones that are having the problem. So if you have the stacked lithium, there's no problems. Now, I was told by Flex, majority of these problems with the batteries are happening when temperatures get above, I think it's like 100, 102, and there's no air. So if you have these locked in a trailer with no vents, this is going to start happening. If you put them in a box with no vents, this is going to start happening. So overall, you can avoid this by making sure that your tools have airflow, or your batteries have airflow. You can avoid this by making sure they're not in a position where they're getting over 100 degrees. In my opinion, I don't want to have to worry about my batteries doing that. I should be able to throw them in a box. I should be able to leave them in a trailer. That's a major flaw. Crazy thing is, before this was even happening to people's batteries, they had already created a new battery eliminating this problem. So yes, you can, if you've registered your tools, you can send in your old batteries, and they will send you new stacked lithium batteries in exchange for your old ones, so that you won't have to worry about the problem. So once again, I've talked to a lot of people that have had this problem with their batteries, and Flex has been very easy to work with in replacing their broken batteries, their juicy batteries. So again, it's a flaw, but I'm proud of Flex for being able to fix it promptly and get it taken care of. Now, that's that. The juices, it's probably not the technical term. The stuff coming out of these batteries, it's not harmful. It's more of like a coolant thing. So like, it's not gonna, like, if it gets on, it's not a big deal. It's not, you know, toxic waste. It's not your lithium juicing out. It's just gross, and it's messy, and it can gunk up your tools. It's just a pain. So do with that what you will. I'm going to be honest about this. Now, you guys know every review I have, so I'm going to skip it. 99.99999% of these tools I have no problem with. I love it. I've been using the router like crazy for cutting out window openings, for doing a lot of different things. I absolutely love it. I've been using their, where'd it go? I literally just had it. I've been using their compact 24-volt brushless drills and impact driver. Awesome, great. I actually have been using their compact impact driver almost more than the other ones, just because it's a little bit smaller. Most of the time, I don't need a lot of power. If I'm sinking, you know, SPACs, you know, power lags and stuff like that, I'll use the turbo. I'll use the regular impact driver, stuff like that. But overall, I mean, any tool is going to do the job. I've been using their jigsaw. instead of going through all the tools, I've been using all of them. I've been using the drywall. I've been using the drywall router. I've been using the drywall screw gun. I've been using the circular saw, the rear handle. I've been using the inline saw, the sander. I even started using these band saws. Here's the 24 volt. This is the 3-inch or 2.5-inch, I believe. But then I also have the 5-inch here, which I've been using. This one actually I've never used before. I have 2 of them. This one I've never used, but the other one, I think it's on the job site right now. Works great. And I've been using the oscillating tool, and then I've been using the cutoff wheel right here, which I really didn't think I would need, and then I actually used a lot, so that's cool. I've used everything from the fan to the 4-bank charger. Okay, so let's move on to the 4-battery charger, the charger dock, basically. I have 2 of them. One of them is broken on one side. I think it's this one. 2 of these batteries spots won't charge. I did leave it in the rain on it, not leave it in the rain. It got wet temporarily, and I think it got in these vents and messed up something on the motherboard or whatever it is. One side works, one side doesn't. But I reached out to Flex. They sent me a new one. Again, awesome company. That's another flaw, but I think that's more of an operator flaw. The other issue, I don't know if you guys know, but I have had problems with my blower. It doesn't turn off. So I'll use it, and then I'll turn this dial all the way back, and it still is blowing air. And I have to actually take the battery out and put the battery back in. I don't know if anyone else has had that problem. I have had that problem, and it's pretty much every time now. It does it every time. Excluding like maybe, it doesn't do it 1 out of 10 times. So that's kind of annoying. I don't really know what happened with that, but not a fan of that. But overall, again, I'm not torture testing these tools. I'm using these on the job site. I'm building houses with them. I'm doing remodels. They're you know, my light, this light has been a light for painting. I've crawled into the house. You can see it's covered in dirt because I've used it to crawl under a house many times. You know, this fan I used in my dog kennel for a little bit because it was kind of hot and I wanted some airflow for the dogs. So it got all dirty and gross, but still works like a beast. I have the tripod for the light. I also have, and I'll be honest, it's heavy. I have these auger, the brushless auger. I'm blanking on it. I guess it's just an auger drill for, you know, if you're doing electrical stuff like that. I'll be honest, I've only used this as a demo. I just wanted to see how powerful it was. I drilled through some boards 4 times, and that was pretty much the extent of it. So I'm not going to talk on how great and durable this tool is because, again, I'm not a fake tool reviewer. I only talk about the tools that I've actually used in action. I'm assuming this is no different than every one of these other tools, which is badass, but I haven't used it, so I'm not going to say nothing. Overall, guys, let me give you my perspective on Flex. If you are looking to invest in a tool brand and you aren't already deeply invested into a brand, I would recommend Flex for a couple reasons. One, their tools are insanely durable. Imagine DeWalt 2010, right? Where you could just rattle those tools around all day long and you're not breaking it. These tools are the new version of that. DeWalt is absolute trash now. I will never buy another DeWalt tool. I don't know what happened. People say it's when Black & Decker bought it. I don't know what happened, but I was DeWalt full-fledged before I went into Flex, and I was getting bummed out by it because it started to break. Things started to fall apart. Every new tool I got, the Flex Volt batteries weren't working right. They were constantly, I had problems with it. So I've yet to have any problems. The biggest problem I've had with Flex are these batteries. But if you're getting into the platform now, they're not even selling these batteries anymore. So again, they're outdated. You're not going to worry about them. It's not even a problem for new Flex buyers. They're also, the reason I would invest in this is they're constantly dropping new tools that are needed, right? A lot of these platforms are dropping tools just to get you to buy it when you don't need it. And then what they do is they make you invest in a new battery, a new charger. For example, DeWalt has done this recently, and so has Milwaukee, where it's like, yeah, it used to be 1 battery, maybe 2 types of battery. And if you had those 2 types of batteries, you could run all their tools. Well, now you need the small tool, you need the 12, you need the 8, now you need the, the mini, you need the, and there's like 17 batteries to run 17 different tools. They're all DeWalt, but they're different configurations. Flex, they're not doing that to you. And I hope they never do that to you. And if they do that to us, I'm going to be a little upset. But I like the fact that every single one of these batteries can power every single one of these tools. Even this tiny battery, I'm going to see if I got one that's charged. This one's kind of charged. Even this tiny 2.5 amp battery, if I want to, I don't know why I would, if I wanted to, I can slide this tiny battery into my circular saw and it works. It doesn't matter. That is probably one of the biggest reasons why I think Flex will end up dominating the battery platform in about 5 to 10 years, is because they basically said, cut the BS of dropping the cylindrical batteries or whatever they are, instead of dropping the little 12s, the little 10s, the compact battery. They're just like, we're going to have batteries and they're going to work for all of our tools. For a contractor, that's great, because no matter what I'm doing on the job, if I've got 20 batteries, I know I can run every one of my tools. If I got 10 batteries, I know I can run every one of my tools. If I'm trying to make cuts and all my large Flex batteries are dead, if I'm like, man, I only got to make 3 more cuts, I can grab one of these and I can finish those cuts out. It's not going to give me the power that I want, but I can get it done. As they drop more tools, you'll have more of an arsenal. I am hoping and praying they drop a chop saw, a miter saw rather, and a table saw. If they drop those 2, I can get rid of the last 2 DeWalt tools I have and finally go 100% Flex. Because as of right now, these are all the tools I need. I think there's only a couple tools that I use that are outside the brand. And obviously there will always be tools that you use outside the brand, just out of different genres, whether you're doing concrete work, whether you're doing masonry, stuff like that. There's tools that these battery platforms just aren't going to have. Obviously they don't have the arsenal like Milwaukee yet, but I think over the course of the next 5-10 years, they're going to get pretty close to that. Again, guys, take it from me, and I say this with 100% confidence. If you buy into Flex, you're not going to be upset. You're not going to be upset. Do you need to buy into Flex? No. Flex is fine. If you like Flex, there's other platforms that are great. I mean, I genuinely, disclaimer, think it comes down to preference. If you're a Milwaukee fangirl, stick with Milwaukee. Like, I'm not trying to convince you that Flex is better than Milwaukee if you think Milwaukee is better. I'm not trying to convince you that Flex is better than DeWalt if you think DeWalt's better. All I'm saying is, if you invest in this platform, you won't be disappointed with quality. You won't be disappointed in power. You won't be disappointed in battery technology. You won't be disappointed in the amount of tools that you can get here in the next little while. Regardless of what you decide to do, you're going to be happy with Flex. If you guys have any situations or things that you had to deal with for Flex, put them in the comments below, because I like reading what you guys think. I love all you haters out there that talk trash. Keep it up. I love seeing your hilarious comments. But yeah, that's all I got, man. I appreciate y'all much.